Let me say this up front. If you invest long enough, what you invest in matters far less than when you start. Most people think the secret to investing is picking the perfect stock, timing the market, or making more money, but it's not. The real secret is starting early, staying consistent, and letting compounding do the heavy lifting, especially inside a Roth IRA. Today, I'm going to show you the actual math on what happens when you start at 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, and 50 years old. Same contribution amount, same strategy, same market assumptions. The only difference is time. No hype, no gimmicks, just numbers that change how you think about investing. What's up guys, Mike here. So growing up, no one taught me how money worked, saving, investing, strategies, none of it. About 10 years ago, I took a deep dive into finance to figure it all out for myself. So I grew a 6-figure portfolio, trying to get to 7, and I want to show you what actually works, what doesn't work, without all the BS. So let's go. So what we're going to be talking about is a Roth IRA, not a taxable brokerage account. Here's why it matters. You invest after-tax dollars, your growth is tax-free, dividends are tax-free, withdrawals and retirement are tax-free. If your Roth grows to $1 million, you'll get $1 million. In a taxable account, you lose money every year to dividend taxes and capital gain. Inside a Roth, compounding runs clean, no leaks, no drags. All right, we're gonna do like a set it and forget it assumption. This model assumes automatic monthly deposits, reinvested dividends, no panic selling during crashes, no skipping months to buy things that don't matter, no pausing because the news freaked you out. The strategy isn't hard, the behavior is. All right, so here are the rules. For every age group, $100 or $200 is gonna be contributed every single month. We're gonna assume 9% annual returns, compounded monthly, dividends reinvested, and we're gonna stop at the age of 60. It's gonna be a Roth IRA, which equals to tax-free growth. The only variable is when you start. All right, so let's look at the $100 a month. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at if you start at the age 20 and put in for 40 years would put you at 60. You would contribute, your contributions would be $48,000. In 40 years, that would grow to $472,000. These are just rough estimates at the 9% return like we talked about. So if you're 30 years old, right now, and you invested 30 years, which would take you up to 60 years old, you would have contributed $36,000, and then that would have brought you to $184,000. If you're 40 years old now, and you contributed 20 more years to get you to 60 years old, you would have put in $24,000, and then that would have grew to $67,000. And if you're 50 years old right now and you contributed 10 more years to get you to 60 years old, that would have been $12,000 you would have put in, and that's going to equal to $19,000 total. And these are all $100 a month contributions that you do for all these age groups. All right, so we're going to look at the $200 a month. So if you're 20 years old and you put in 40 years worth of contributions, you would have contributed $96,000, and that would have put you at $943,000 after 40 years. 30 years, if you're 30 years old now, 30 years of contributions brings you to 60 years old. $72,000 is what you would have contributed, and that would have grew to $369,000 at $200 a month. 40 years, if you're 40 years old right now, 20 years of contributions would equal to $48,000 of contribution amounts, and that would have grew to $135,000. And if you're 50 years old right now, adding 10 years gets you to 60, you would have contributed $24,000, and that would have grew to $39,000. All right, with all those numbers, here's the true lesson. The first 10 years builds the foundation. The next 10 build momentum. The last 10 is where it builds the wealth. That's where the true money is. Not because you invested more, because you invested longer. Time is the multiplier. It's like what I said earlier. So you want to hear what the true threat of compounding is? It's interruption. People pause contributions because they want a new car they didn't need. They want to go on a vacation they couldn't afford, fear during a market dip, or that thought of, hey, I'll catch up later. But stopping for just 2 years at the age of 25 doesn't cost you $2,400 or $4,800. It can cost you tens of thousands of dollars by age 60 because those early dollars never had time to compound. It isn't the market that ruins most investors. It's stopping during the years that matters most. Compounding isn't fragile, it's consistent. People aren't. Don't interrupt the snowball. You know what? In market crashes and fears, they don't ruin long-term investors. Quitting does. If you stop, you lock in the loss. If you continue, you buy the recovery cheap. Volatility isn't the enemy, interruption is. Hey, just real quick, if you like the information that you got here in this video, please consider liking the video and subscribing. Subscribing is free and you can always change your mind. I'd appreciate it, help the channel out a lot. And one final message here. If you're young, you have time. If you're older, the second best time is today, right now. You don't need to predict the market. You don't need the perfect stock. You don't need to start big. You just need to start. Start now. Stay consistent. Don't interrupt the process. Let time do what timing never will. And that's the video for today. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.